Doubters will always be doubters. Haters will always be haters. Like I said, we're not foolish. Our boy was ill, and you don't put somebody who's ill into a fight of that magnitude, a fight where it's a 12-round would be a 12-round fight if he went the distance, yeah, for someone who's not well. And can you imagine, God forbid, had we been macho and went for the money, and then, God forbid, we lost our title.
Doubt and criticism are ingrained in boxing, but when a fighter withdraws due to illness, the conversation shifts from competition to responsibility. Daniel Dubois' decision to pull out sparked outrage, with many questioning whether he was genuinely unwell or if this was a strategic move. However, no fighter or team willingly walks away from a massive payday and a career-defining opportunity without a legitimate reason. Stepping into the ring at anything less than peak condition is a dangerous gamble. A 12-round war demands absolute physical readiness, and fighting while compromised could lead to disaster. The real issue isn't Dubois' decision. It's the culture of boxing that often pressures fighters to risk their health just to satisfy public expectations. Dubois was on the verge of proving his evolution as a fighter, ready to showcase refined skills and newfound confidence.
Was excited for him to demonstrate that he's also gone up a notch in terms of skills, and unfortunately we're not God. He fell ill 2 days before the fight, and the doctors were summoned. The Riyadh seasoned doctor was summoned. He first attended the hotel room, and he came up that he's got a fever pending coming through. His glands were all swollen.
This was supposed to be a defining moment, a chance to cement his place at the top. Then disaster struck. Just days before the fight, his health deteriorated, fever, swelling, and clear signs that his body wasn't ready for battle. Medical professionals stepped in, confirming what was already evident. Yet skepticism followed. Some questioned the timing, the legitimacy, and even the decision itself. But no fighter, especially one on the brink of his biggest opportunity, walks away unless there is no other option. Boxing demands proof, and when Dubois returns, he won't just be fighting an opponent. He'll be battling the doubters, the critics, and the relentless narrative that always questions a fighter's struggles outside the ring. When he steps back through the ropes, the scrutiny will be relentless. But if there's one thing boxing teaches, it's that adversity fuels the comeback. Dubois isn't just fighting.
He came up also from his test, based on this various series of tests that he did on Daniel. He said, again, swollen glands, reddened ears. He looked into the ears and eyes, and he was clammy. He said, look, my recommendation is that he doesn't fight. So after listening to two doctors, experts, saying, we recommend your fight doesn't fight.
Fighting for a win, he's fighting to silence the doubt. Just days before his fight, Daniel Dubois was hit with a brutal reality check. A series of medical tests confirmed what no fighter ever wants to hear. His body wasn't conditioned to step into the ring. Swollen glands, reddened ears, and a fevered, clammy state painted a clear picture of illness. The experts didn't hesitate in their verdict. Stepping into battle under these conditions was a dangerous gamble. The decision wasn't about pride or toughness, it was about survival. Boxing punishes hesitation and weakness, yet despite medical confirmation, doubts still swirl. Every withdrawal in the sport sparks controversy, every setback invites scrutiny. But when two separate doctors advise against fighting, ignoring them isn't bravery, it's recklessness. Dubois may have been forced out this time, but when he returns, he'll carry more than just gloves into the ring.
Obviously learned I could take a punch, which I probably already knew.
Don't take the punch if you can help it.
not to take the punches, obviously.
How to diffuse
the situation, how to negate Daniel, how to work my way around him so I can't get hit by him. Just all around.
He'll be fighting to reclaim his place and silence those who question his every move. This situation has all the makings of a classic boxing controversy: uncertainty, shifting narratives, and a fighter left in the shadows. Joseph Parker has done everything right, yet once again he finds himself waiting while bigger names maneuver into more lucrative positions. The sudden push for Dubois versus Usyk raises legitimate concerns. Was Dubois truly too ill to fight, or was this a calculated move to avoid a high-risk opponent? If the illness was genuine, why hasn't there been clear medical verification? And if it wasn't, how did the path to a more high-profile fight open so seamlessly? Parker knows boxing isn't just about skill, it's about politics, power, and financial interests. He won't throw accusations blindly, but the timing feels too convenient. Is this just another example of the sport's hidden machinations? Or was Parker...
But look what's happened to him now. He gambled wrong. God knows how much that will set him back in terms of where he was. So it's kind of a thing where you have to really think carefully. Health comes first. And in that case last week for Daniel in Riyadh, we looked at the boy's health. He's only 27, yeah, like he's the current world champion and is still the current IBF world champion.
...or simply a victim of circumstance. The heavyweight division has always been as much about politics as it is about power, and Joseph Parker is feeling the weight of that reality. He's done everything required, beaten top opponents, stayed active, and positioned himself for a world title shot. Yet here he is, left waiting while the sport moves on without him. Daniel Dubois' withdrawal may have been legitimate, but the sudden shift toward a fight with Oleksandr Usyk raises serious questions. Was this truly about health, or was it a convenient excuse to reshuffle the deck in favor of bigger business interests? Parker isn't crying conspiracy, but the optics are impossible to ignore. He wants nothing more than to step in against the best and prove himself, yet the sport seems determined to keep him one step away. If fairness exists in boxing, Parker should get his shot.
He had a fever and the two doctors examined him and said on their recommendation, we pulled him out the fight. When a doctor says to you, we don't recommend that you go ahead with it, we'll be foolish and macho to then go forward and for what? For what reason? No, we're not into the macho business. You know, we have to protect the fighter, the kid, and he's getting his career's highest purse. We ignored all that and make sure he's all right. His health comes first.
But does fairness even matter anymore in a game where money and influence reign supreme? The heavyweight division is no stranger to controversy, and Dubois' withdrawal has only added fuel to the fire. His trainer stands by the decision, insisting that medical experts advised against fighting. Risking Dubois' health for the sake of appearances, they argue, would have been reckless. However, in a sport where timing is everything, the sudden pivot toward a potential Usyk fight has sparked debate. Was this truly about protecting Dubois, or was there a bigger plan in motion? The explanation may be logical, but boxing's long history of behind-the-scenes maneuvering makes it hard to ignore the questions. Did Dubois genuinely fall ill at the worst possible time, or was this a carefully calculated move to secure a more lucrative opportunity? Fans and analysts remain divided, and the lack of transparency only deepens.
Why should it be Dubois or Usyk? Why don't they step up and let him fight? But listen, I don't pay the money. It's not my, it's if they want that. But I don't like that. I think it's wrong. I think Joe should be given his. He'll get a fight. He'll get a fight.
It's the mystery. One thing is certain: this story is far from over. Whatever the truth may be, it will eventually come to light. Spencer Brown isn't just frustrated, he's outraged. He sees exactly what's happening behind the scenes, and it's a blatant attempt to sideline Joseph Parker despite his undeniable credentials. Parker has stepped up time and time again, taken on the toughest fights, and left no doubt about his place among the elite. Yet instead of being rewarded, he's being pushed out of the title picture while others conveniently get fast-tracked. Brown knows what's at play. Boxing politics at its worst. Certain fighters are protected, while real contenders are left waiting. The question is, how long will this charade continue? Fans are starting to see through the excuses, and the sport's credibility is on the line. Will boxing finally do right by Parker, or will backroom deals continue to dictate the narrative?
Andy Lee says Usyk. He also says Dubois. I know you're in the conversation of Dubois, Usyk. What do you do with your
There's
partner?
lots of things there to be done, and we will do them. I mean, there's no doubt about that. There's lots of... Sorry, I can't hear anything. There's lots of things that we can look at, lots of permutations, and we'll get there at the end of the day with a really good fight for Joe. I mean, he's on the Queensbury team, and we'll make sure we deliver for him.
The truth is out there, and those pulling the strings can't hide behind politics forever. Meanwhile, Frank Warren isn't wasting any time. He's making it clear that Oleksandr Usyk's next move will be nothing short of massive. With so many options in play, Warren is determined to secure the biggest fight possible, whether it's a blockbuster showdown or a highly anticipated rematch. Timing, negotiations, and the right strategy will be key, but one thing is certain: Queensbury Promotions is fully committed to delivering something spectacular. Warren understands how quickly the heavyweight division shifts with every major decision, and he's making sure Usyk remains at the center of it all. Fans are waiting, anticipation is building, and Warren promises that when the dust settles, the fight everyone wants to see will be right.
And I felt that, Martin, who very bravely took the fight at short notice, obviously got well paid, but it was Joe's night, and Joe took the fight and that opportunity in style and delivered in the big
fight on the horizon. Frank Warren didn't hesitate to acknowledge Joseph Parker's dominance in the ring. While Martin Bacol showed immense courage by stepping in on short notice, this night belonged to Parker, and he made sure everyone knew it. He didn't just secure a win, he put on a masterclass, dismantling his opponent with precision and power. Parker's performance wasn't just impressive, it was a direct message to the entire heavyweight division. Warren, having witnessed it firsthand, understands that Parker isn't just another contender, he's a serious threat to anyone holding a title. With this kind of statement victory, Parker has forced his name into the world title conversation, leaving fans and analysts speculating on what's next. Will the boxing world give him the shot he deserves?
Usyk Parker now, we don't know if he's going to have that fight with Daniel Dubois, if Dubois goes into an Usyk rematch next. What do you want to see?
I want to see that fight. I think it's going to be a great fight.
Parker Dubois?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great fight.
Who you got?
Who do I got? The best man. But right now, Daniel Dubois is the top man right now. This is the man that's holding the belt. So Parker has to come good. And Parker has the ability to...
Or will politics once again stand in the way of a fighter who has earned his moment at the top? Lennox Lewis is watching Parker's rise closely, knowing that his next move could shake up the entire division. With uncertainty swirling around whether Parker will face Daniel Dubois or if Dubois will head straight into a rematch with Oleksandr Usyk, the stakes have never been higher. Lewis sees a Parker versus Dubois showdown as a thrilling matchup, one that could redefine the heavyweight landscape. While Dubois currently holds a belt, Lewis isn't dismissing Parker's chances. He recognizes Parker's skill set, durability, and experience, making it clear that the Kiwi fighter has everything it takes to pull off a major victory. Still, the heavyweight division is unforgiving, and Parker will have to bring his absolute best to prove he belongs at the very top. With so much uncertainty and
in the immediate aftermath called out Oleksandr Usyk, and for me personally, if ever there was a guy who deserves a world title shot, if ever there was a guy who deserved a crack at Oleksandr Usyk, even though Daniel Dubois is a champion, for me it's got to be Joseph Parker.
High-level competition ahead, one thing is certain: the division is heating up and Parker is right in the middle of it all. Joseph Parker has done more than enough to earn a shot at the world title. Fresh off a dominant win, he's made it clear that Usyk is the next target. And honestly, who deserves that shot more? Parker didn't just beat Bacol, he dismantled a fighter that most heavyweights wouldn't dare face, and he did it with authority. Yet despite consistently taking on and defeating top-level opposition, the usual boxing politics seem determined to push other names ahead.